gorilla stomping in a zoo. Check the vocals, animals gather right.
Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be resuming some construction here on the rabbit house. You know, I really need to get the motivation going on getting some completion into this thing. As you know, it's a project that's been ongoing for a long period of time with lots of interruptions in between and things just taking up time that I need to really put the attention in here on this rabbit house and bring it to the final stages. In particular, we are into the spring season right now, so you know we're talking breeding season, and I'm still without a doe because I need a spot to be able to isolate the doe from the bucks to control what crossing and breeding happens. So this rabbit house is actually going to play an integral role in having that isolation for those rabbits while having a nice warm environment to put it out in the winter and basically get our program up and running. All right, our rabbitry / breeding program, whatever you want to call it, this is one of the keys to getting it started. Because as you've seen in my last video, I discussed how the rabbit coop is going to evolve, and I'm very excited to get that started. But opportunities are starting to come up of getting a doe for the bucks. And I can't just put the doe into the coop with the 2 bucks there now and just let things go as they want. I really want to control what breeding happens to see what kind of kits and outcomes happen from introducing what doe to what buck and whatnot. So I really need this finished to provide some form of isolation and control into that atmosphere. So you've probably seen me get to this point here in a previous video. If you haven't, please go back, look at the rabbit house build series, the rabbit coop build series. It'll bring you right up to speed on where I am with rabbits. I've been quite transparent and honest and illustrative on how I got to where I am now. And it's felt like a very slow process, but we're always moving forward. All right, so once I get this finished up, I'm going to have another tool in my arsenal for getting into our breeding program. So that's the goal for today, is to see how much I can get done on this. The kids are in school, my wife is busy running errands, and it's a great opportunity. It's windy outside. You may have a bit of wind noise, creaking the doors there in the background, but I'm here in the garage with full means of getting some work done, and that's the opportunity, as long as I can stop gabbing, right? So with all that said, I got some plywood, going to get that measured out, covering these sidewalls, and see what happens from there, whether I do a lid or get into paint. Anything could happen at this point in time. So just going to get started, we'll see what happens. So first step in the process is to get my plywood cut to size. I've already gone ahead and measured my sidewalls here for the ends, and I know that approximate what size I need. So I'm going to cut out a square rectangular shape, and then I'll hold it up against the side, trace around that, and do the fine cutting once I have a smaller piece to work with. So I'll go grab some plywood, get it up on top of the house here, maybe clamp it down and do some cutting. Alright, so I'm going to be stripping this whole piece of plywood, and as much as it kills me to do it, I'm going to be doing it at 24 inches and an eighth. And the reason I'm doing that is because that's the exact height of the rabbit house, and I want my plywood to be at the right height to cover the side perfectly. Alright, so I'd like to just split the sheet right in half, 24 and 24, but I'm just going to go on the side of perfection, even though this is not a perfection build by any means. It's just this is one aesthetic side of it, and I want it to look the best and cover the most area. So I'm going to mark off 24 and an eighth on this. Cut this the whole length at 24 and an eighth, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so now that I've got my 24 1/8 cut done, I'm going to lay that up against the side, and I'm going to flush it up at the front. And now that that's done, I'm going to draw a line behind. There we are, so I just traced out my whole side, and I'll go ahead and get that cut out. And we'll do a little test fit. And there we are, spot on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, do the other side, and then we'll glue and screw it to it. Alright, so took a little bit of fancy cutting to get this shape, and if there's any new viewers here, I just want to make it clear, I let my inexperience speak for itself, okay? So you know, don't think I'm here a professional woodworker or anything like that, because you've obviously figured out by now that I'm not. So, anyways, I'm just making this work. I'm cutting it out, the front of the rabbit house, got a little bit of wave to it, some imperfections. And thankfully for plywood, you can cut it in all kinds of manners and end up covering up all your mistakes. So I think this is still going to be one of the better houses that our rabbits can have. So there's a method to the madness. We'll get there eventually. But, well, that said, another sidewall's cut out, and let's do a quick little test fit. And that's spot on as well. So our two sides are done. I'm going to bring you over this way. We'll get this glued and screwed, and our end walls are done. Alrighty, so time for some glue and screw, and of course, dun dun dun, we got our Donkey Kong glue. Alright, regular viewers are quite familiar with this by now. So, just gonna trace out all the edges. Got a wonderful coating of it. And we'll do a little in the middle for good measure. And let's get this lined up like such. That's ready to rock. There we are, that's one side done. Let's head over to the other and get that one put on as well. What do you think? Is that enough glue? I think so. Now, does anyone want to fathom a guess at what's next? That's right, time to put some caulking on this. Alright, that's the end of that tube. Let's see how far we make it go. So for anybody new, you're probably thinking this guy's a little bit crazy with the caulking, and you would be correct. But as I've said before, I'm just trying to protect my investment as much as possible, cutting down on any kind of water infiltration, and this will all set up and be paintable. And just give that extra layer of protection to our seams and wood edges. Even my wife, when she watches these videos, she's like, "You're crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." There we go. That's this side done. We'll have to open up a new tube of caulking for the other side, and go get that done as well. And for those wondering, I will do the bottom, but I just need this to set up a little bit to get a good angle at the bottom. But if you're wondering why I'm doing it, I'll just briefly say, you know, on your edge of your plywood, there's 4 layers on the 1/2 inch that I'm using. Water can get down between those layers, cause swelling of the wood, infiltration of the water, and basically make your plywood start to delaminate or come apart. By caulking all around the seams and everything like that, I'm trying to avoid that problem. So that's the goal, alright? So a little bit extra time, a little bit extra money for a bit of caulking, hopefully will save me repairs and everything down the road. Now you may say, you know what, the paint will seal that. Well, you're probably right there as well. But I just trust putting caulking there more. That's about it, really. And the paint will be another layer of protection on top of that again. So there you have it. I'm going to continue on to the other side, get another tube of caulking opened up, and then we're going to let that set up before I figure out the next stage of work today. So far so good. Nice and motivated, feeling good. I'm just kind of just moseying at a medium pace here today. So off camera, you know, I'm just kind of relaxing, doing a little bit at a time. But I am filming everything that I'm doing for you guys, so you'll see all the parts of this build, and including all my rambling and commentary. So, all right, let's go get another tube of caulking opened up. Now, in order to get caulking on the bottom, what I'm going to do is I got the rabbit house moved all the way back here as far as I can. A little bit further I can go. And I got the sawhorses in away from the edge, so I should, if everything goes to plan, turn it like such. And now the whole bottom end is accessible to me, and I'll get some caulking put on there now as well. Alright, so end walls are on, all the seams are caulked, everything is where we need it to be. We need it to set up a little bit now before any kind of paint or anything can go on there. I'm still not 100% on if I'm going to get at the paint today. I'm thinking I will yet. But anyways, like I say, I don't want to overkill the topic, but you know, for those new viewers and those of the past who still don't understand, a tube of caulking is about what, $4? So if you can seal up your seams, make it airtight, watertight, and add that extra layer of protection, you know, why not? Especially the price of materials these days, you're really putting an investment in when you're out buying this much lumber and hardware of screws and you know, fiberglass flooring and insulation, and you know, you can't really justify not going all the way with it if it's just a matter of time and patience. If this was on a mass production scale, you know, obviously I think it'd be out the window to expect that level of weatherproofing and sealing and detail. But when it's your own project and you got time on a weekend and you just want to kind of relax, get out in the garage and kill some time, you know, why not just throw some caulking on there, enjoy your time, and just enjoy, make a day of it. So as well, in previous videos I've disclosed to you that as far as my health, I got generalized anxiety and depression disorder, but there is also a component of that sometimes of OCD tendencies. So if this is an OCD tendency, so be it, it's expressing itself, and I'm okay with this because I can totally justify the extra, you know. And if anything, you know, when talking about caulking and stuff, I've pretty much given you all the jokes you need to make. Alright, I've pretty much made it free at this point, if you know what I mean. So, you know, especially with how much I've gone through, you know, so that's about it. As for now, I'm going to let this set up a little bit. I may turn the house back on its bottom and start some taping. I might tape around the fiberglass flooring on the inside. That way, if I do get to doing some paint, it'll already be taped up, because this is going to need, you know, a half hour or more of drying time. I'm just going to relax, probably put on a bit of music and hang out in the garage, just enjoy, and you know, nice relaxing day, the wind blowing, and just making a day of it. And that's what it's all about, is the experience, enjoying what you're doing. This is not being rushed for, you know, a big deadline. This is a hobby, this is an enjoyment, this is therapy, this is everything you need it to be. So, you know, hopefully you guys are able to get to that side of things as well, that this is just meant to be fun. Making videos of it is fun. So, you know, bring fun into your workshop, bring fun into your projects. You know, when I'm raising rabbits for meat, you know, I'm not a religious guy, but at the same time, like, I want to feel that I deserve to take that animal's life and enhance mine and preserve mine and continue mine by sacrificing this animal. So if I'm going to raise these animals, I want to have the best life possible for them, you know, to an extent of financial availability. But through everything and what I do, you know, if you're going to do it the best way you can. And this is the best way I know how right now to build this enclosure and this project. So, you know, that's what's in my head when I'm doing these things, is just try to make myself worthy of, you know, the animal sacrifices, and make their lives as good as I can make it, given the means and conditions that I have to work with. So, there you go, another ramble for you. My videos are full of rambles. I hope you don't mind them. I like to get my thoughts out on the video, so, you know, in the future, myself and my kids, we know where my head was at with this. And any one of you watching, you know, now you know where my head is at with all this. And basically it's about enjoying it and being productive and giving the animals as best a life as possible before ultimately ending it and using that to preserve our lives and my family's life with sustainability and food production. So, there you go. I'm going to let this set up. If I do get into taping some of the seams, I'll kick you guys into a little bit of music while I do that, and for the most part you're not really going to be able to see it. I'm reaching down into the bays, so I may just skip it all together and I'll tell you if I do it or not. Alright, that's it for now. When I come back, we'll figure out what the next step is, and it'll probably be a bit of paint. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's go. Alright, so you saw me get everything all taped up inside of the rabbit house. It's time to face the music and do my least enjoyable task, and that's painting. Alright, I've talked myself out of it, I've talked myself back into it. It's time to do it and get it over with. Alright, so I'm going to be aiming for a couple of coats. I don't think I'll get both coats done today, but anything could happen. My wife went to Home Depot, got me some more red for the outside. Spoiler alert. Going to be doing red, same as the chicken coop and the rabbit coop. And that is a firecracker red. And as far as the interior, what I'm using, I got one that I've already used from before. But this is a Behr exterior flat ultra pure white. And I'm going to be doing the inside of each bay with that. And I'm just going to be putting it on with a brush and see how it goes. So, no time like the right time. Let's get started. first coat is on, and I laid it on pretty heavy if you never noticed. But yeah, so first coat is on. I'm gonna kind of putter around here, and more than likely I'll throw a second coat on before I leave the garage here today. But I'm not going to bore you with more footage of me painting a second coat on. Alright, you've seen the ultimate transformation. Nice bright white, so hopefully any light that enters into the different rabbit bays will reflect enough and light it up to a nice level for the rabbits. And yeah, so far so good. I'm quite impressed with the outcome. And I will be doing a red on the outside, but I want the 2 coats of white done before I do the red. The red will actually be pretty quick because it's just outside with a roller, and I'd say in a matter of 10 minutes or so I'd have the outside done with the coat. So I'll probably leave that for next video. And that's about it, I think. I've pretty much completed this coat, and we're almost ready to make a lid for this rabbit house. So I'll save a little bit of suspense. I know this video has got to be super long by now. I'll try to edit down and condense things to a more palatable size, but I am, like I say, documenting this for my own purposes too, and for the kids and the future. So if need be, skip through it, but you're already at the end, sorry to tell you. Too late for me to tell you that now. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll get back at this next time, if not unless something else comes up in the meantime. But I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you're enjoying this build, and I hope that our vision, my vision really comes together on how this is going to go into use on the land and with the bunnies. But definitely as of now I need it for an exclusion zone to start getting some does for breeding. Seems like there's more and more people getting interested in rabbits these days, so I got to get my does ASAP. And there we have it, another video in the books. Please go back, check out our past content. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video and share it around, talk about it, put it in your groups, I don't care. Just help this channel to grow, and I'll try to keep this content coming on a regular basis. And that's about it. So until the next video happens, hope you're happy, hope you're healthy, take care of each other, and peace out.